Edwards, always a great show to watch. He scored over 40 in the loss to the Denver Nuggets. We'll get into a little bit of that game in just a little bit. We welcome in now Suns radio analyst Tim Kempton as our guest. Timmy, we're hanging out today here at Casino Arizona, and both Manucci and I were curious. You hire a coach over the weekend, yet there's no timetable yet for the news conference. Is that a little strange in your aspect, or do the parties do they just have something else going on?
Well, I think Budenholzer's over in Italy with Popovich right now, so they got to wait for him to get back stateside to do this.
Okay, and I know that at the Combine, a lot of the staff at the Combine, so we weren't aware of that. I'm like, I just find it odd that you mentioned the official hiring on Saturday for Sunday, and then normally, Tim, you'd have it like Monday or Tuesday. Answers
Exactly.
Yeah, just being odd. But so your initial thoughts? Okay, Frank gets fired. Was it on Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday was. We're all pressing. We're pushing, going, well, Budenholzer seems to be the favorite. What were your thoughts as far as prior to Budenholzer being hired, and then once he was hired, your thoughts after that?
Yeah, for me, it's always, people have different timetables. I'm one of those guys that would sit back and, sit with the group, whoever it happens to be. If there's 10 names, whittle that down to 3 or 4 for some reason, and then talk to those guys. But obviously, they had their sights set on Budenholzer the whole time. There was no other obvious candidates. There was no interviews. Obviously, it was done pretty quick after Frank was fired. So I was surprised by both things. First and foremost, Frank getting fired, but obviously there were things going on behind the scenes that I didn't know about. That obviously it became a question that the team couldn't play for him, didn't want to play for him, wouldn't play for him, whatever the verbiage you want to use. That wasn't going to work going forward. So, you fire Frank, and then for me, I'm always one of those guys. So there were a couple of guys that I had on my mind that I had conversations with people. Once I'd like to see them interview this guy, that guy, and the other guy, but obviously they're not interested in my opinion or my thought process. Again, they had their eyes set on Budenholzer, and they got that done pretty darn quick. Now, obviously, he's been in the league, head coach of the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks, who we saw front and center in that championship series. Obviously, he's been on Popovich's bench for a while, so there's a lot of things there. Obviously, that the staff that hired him, the ownership group, and James Jones liked and went after him right away.
Tim Kempton is our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. All right, Tim, answer me this then. With that move taking place and what you just referenced, there really weren't any other real candidates other than Budenholzer. And you've seen him up close and personal. You just referenced the Suns losing in the finals against the Milwaukee Bucks when he was the head coach. How does he approach coming in with what he saw this past season for the Suns, where there was an apparent undercurrent of dysfunction?
Yeah, first and foremost, if I was him, I'd have lunches and dinners set up already with, most notably the, Kevin and Bradley and Devin, and figure out where their heads are at. What are you guys thinking? This has got to be something that comes together as a group. You can't do it individually because there's too many pieces. So, ask them what they like, what they don't like. Ask them, how they like to play, what their minute structure looks like at this time of their career. And, gone are the days where coaches come in and say, hey, this is my way and this is the way we're going to do it. There's only there's probably Popovich, Spoelstra down in Miami. Other than that, I don't know too many guys that can just come in and say, hey, we're going to do it this way, and that's how it's going to go, and have the support, because you look at Popovich and the support he has from the front office and the ownership group in San Antonio, and then obviously Pat Riley is running the basketball show, and him and Spoelstra are connected at the hip. So that's one of the things, that's also a relationship that has to be looked at and developed. James Jones and Budenholzer, how do they work? How do they get along? Obviously, James hiring him, there's a connection there to begin with, but that's something that needs to be worked on as you go through this whole process of putting this team back out on the court. Who are going to be the other pieces? Who are going to be the Eric Gordons? Obviously, you signed Grayson Allen, but, Nurkic, what is his feel? What's your bench look like? What's your staff look like? So there is still quite a lot of questions and a lot of work to do for Mike Budenholzer. And most importantly, in today's day and age, is developing the relationship with your stars and the guys that are leading your team.
Now, to my last question on Budenholzer, then we'll talk a little bit about the playoffs these last couple of days. It seems as though he's a guy that won't rule with an iron fist, but it's he understands what it takes to get it done. But it seems like he will be flexible enough, because when you look at the stars that at San Antonio, the stars he had at Atlanta, the stars he had at Milwaukee, he's a guy that's in charge. Now, he'll be flexible. It just seems like he's flexible to a point, but he knows how to get it done after serving under Pop.
Yeah, and I think that's, now he's got to use the best of both worlds, because again, he's not Pop. This organization isn't the Phoenix Suns. This is his first year. Pop's been there for 20 plus years now. So with time comes authority as well. So yeah, someone's got to be in charge, and you'd like that to be your head coach. So exactly. It's walking that line of, I'm in charge. What do you think? How can we make this work together as a group?
All right, Timmy, to the games that were played yesterday, give me your thoughts quickly on the beat-up New York Knicks and also the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets. I think a lot of people wrote them off way too early. They are looking now like the defending champs.
Yeah, without a doubt. First of all, the Knicks, they're beat up, and Indiana's put a bigger defender on Jalen Brunson, really making it difficult for him. Everything rolls off of Jalen Brunson, and if you make him uncomfortable, you make the Knicks very uncomfortable, because not only is he not scoring, but now the second and third and fourth pieces are going, oh no, what's going on? Jalen usually does this. So not only do you take away their best player, but you take the confidence away, you take the chemistry away from the New York Knicks. And now that they're beat up, the Indiana Pacers have been able to adjust their defense to Jalen Brunson and slow him down, and it's shown very well in the last couple of games in Indiana. And then, Denver responded well. Obviously even more so on the road. And to me, it's the bench players. It's Christian Brown. It's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. It's those guys that are really stepping up and doing a nice job. One of the nice things that you see, the Minnesota Timberwolves really want to get after you and pressure your ball handlers. Well, what Denver has done, they've got 4 or 5 different ball handlers. One time it's Jamal Murray, next time it's Jokic, next time it's Aaron Gordon, next time it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So they're taking the strength of the Minnesota Timberwolves and spreading it around a little bit more. You got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was really getting after the Suns in the backcourt. Well, if his guy doesn't have the ball, all of a sudden you take him, you soften that up a little bit. And that goes for all the defenders. And it always helps when you have Nikola Jokic, someone to steady the ship, someone to play really well. Jamal Murray has responded nicely. They're the better team right now. With the first 2 games, it was Minnesota. They were the better team. They carried over from what they did against the Phoenix Suns and got 6, 7, 8 to play really well. Right now, 6, 7, and 8 aren't playing really well for Minnesota, but they are for Denver, and that's the difference, I think, in that series so far.
Always good, pal, when you take time with us on the show. Thank you, Tim. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
There you go. That's Tim Kempton, everybody. Suns radio analyst. He's always presented by our great partnership with All City Towing. And if you're looking for a new career, pays great, has terrific benefits, make it All City Towing. Easiest way to apply, just go online, allcitytowing.com, and search careers. That's allcitytowing.com and search careers. All City Towing, statewide service. They answer your call 24/7. Once again, it's allcitytowing.com. Quick break. When we come back, the NFL has given us the first game of the upcoming NFL season, and it's a dandy. We're going